Now, Roads, Transport and Public Works Cabinet Secretary nominee Kipchumba Murkomen has promised to make public the standard gauge railway contract for Kenyans to understand the terms and conditions of the deal, which remains a controversial topic in the country. Now, appearing before the National Assembly Committee on Appointments, Murkomen revealed that attempts to get details of the 327 billion shilling project had been futile, as no one was aware of the contents of the contract. As our very own Chemutai Goin reports, Murkomen also set his eyes on dismantling what he terms as state capture in the country's ports.
Murkomen do hereby swear.
As he faced the vetting panel following his nomination as Roads, Transport and Public Works Cabinet Secretary, Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen was confident that he had solutions to issues bedeviling the transport sector. The elephant in the room being the secrecy in the deal entered between Kenya and China over the construction of the 327 billion shilling standard gauge railway, whose repayment is gobbling up monies that would have been diverted to other development initiatives.
The problem, Mr. Chair, with the SGR is that we took a loan of 20 years on an infrastructure of 100 years. It becomes impossible to be able to pay that loan by revenue that comes from the railways. And even in 50 years, it will never break even if you load the loans to the railway.
Amid concerns that Kenya was likely to lose its ports if it defaulted on the loan, Murkomen dared to do what has seemingly been impossible: reveal the details of the contract entered by Kenya.
The SGR project, where Kenya took a financing loan through the Exim Bank, that the government is having some challenges to repay that loan. And then the Chinese are going to take over the SGR services and also KPA, because KPA acted as a collateral security in terms of financing the loan. So can you shed light on this? Because what we are seeing, maybe it is a crisis in terms of the KPA and also the SGR services.
This agreement has become opaque. It's akin to the other agreement we have had in the political circles, where party leaders are told, you just sign the dotted line, don't worry about the contents up here. That is why, Honorable Mishi, you are speculating that maybe the port has been used as a guarantee. Maybe it has not been used as a guarantee. So my first responsibility when I get to office is to find where the agreement is and give it to the people of Kenya through Parliament. Why are we hiding? If the port has been used as a guarantee, we live knowing that as we manage the port and manage the SGR, we know what is our exposure. If the port is exposed, we know it's exposed. You know, everything starts by knowing the truth.
Despite court intervention, the government has declined to make public the contract, citing non-disclosure clauses and that the move would pose a risk to national security and strain relations between the countries involved. While stating the Ruto administration's intention to settle the debt, Murkomen hinted at the government's bid to renegotiate the terms.
We are willing to continue paying the amount that was set. We have maintained in the escrow account 25 billion that was required. But, Mr. Speaker, we should be willing, led by the President, to renegotiate the loan period. If we manage to move the loan period even to 50 years, because it's a 100 years investment, we are not going to do another SGR for 100 years. If we can manage to renegotiate to 50 years, Mr. Speaker, then it will ease the burden that Kenyans, the payments that we make every year, and we can divest that money to other parts of the economy.
The question of the port takeover also came up.
There are some allegations that the former regime, where the deputy president was the leader of Kenya Kwanza, secretary signed a deal under the guise of economic cooperation with the United Arab Emirates, which will see privately owned Dubai Port World, PZD, take over the operations of Mombasa, Lamu and Kisumu ports.
If you used to hear what Kimani Ichung'wah used to call state capture, that is actually what state capture means. It is the use of state power to benefit a few individuals. I'll make sure that I dismantle those agents of state capture and return resources back to the people of Kenya so that the people of Kenya can benefit.
He further allayed fears over the possible closure of the inland container depot in Naivasha, saying KPA would work with truckers to facilitate movement of cargo from the depot, however stating that no one should be forced to use the SGR to transport their goods. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.